So staying grounded, and I'll remember. So staying grounded, what's that referred to? It means localization. And this is really nice because we condensed a lot of information to come up with this very simple list of these major local updates. User context. So there's continuous improvement on trying to serve the best results for local. You better hop on that bandwagon and we'll talk about how to do that. Mobile, again, can you see the trend? These are just major updates, not minor updates. So you have to position yourself really well to show up on mobile devices. And prior to that, before May, I won't go over those details, but of course there were many, countless. In fact, there were more in the beginning of the year to improve the results on mobile. So how do you stay grounded? 3 points for Google Maps. Don't give yourself 3 points if you just have a Google map. That doesn't count. It has to be 100% populated with information. That includes pictures and videos. Only then do you get the 100% credit. How many of you have a 100% populated Google Map account? How many of you have touched it in the last 2-3 months? That's pretty darn good. Okay, the other piece of that is there's a URL. You associate that Google Map to your website. Okay, but don't give yourself credit yet. In the last 4 or 5 months, we have updated the way we mark up the local address information on the homepage that links back to your Google Map. If you don't do that properly, you don't get that strong local signal. We used to do H-card linking or H-card file. We don't do that anymore. And it needs to be marked up correctly, that local address information. And if you have multiple addresses, that local address information by code has to be marked up correctly, not just on your homepage anymore as well. You actually have to do it on your contact page and a few other places with local files to truly get that full local signal. How many of you now are going to get a 3? That's honesty. That's awesome. Thank you. I did not expect that. Okay, so Bing Maps, 20% of the market. Obviously, that's a very strong local signal, even though if you have a stronger local signal, it affects your Google results. Although there's actually more options to fill out for Bing Maps, but you really want to go ahead and do that. Other maps is 2 points. In other words, if you have yourself in at least 5 to 10 other, that's the minimum requirement, 5 to 10 other local resources, then you get 2 points. Take it a step further. Google's cracking down on exact address match, character by character. So in other words, if over here you're listed as Suite 130, and over here you're listed as Suite 130B, you're losing some of that local signal power because it has to be consistent. And why is Google doing that? Well, for the obvious, one, it wants you to put out relevant, reliable information out there about your website. And a lot of your competitors are also as well listing themselves on these local resources. So how do you get the jump? So what we just talked about. You need to be consistently putting out, pay attention to how your address reads. You may need to go out there and correct some. Reviews, review time. Did you guys know there's a minimum requirement for reviews to get that strong local signal? You're only going to get a 2, and this number has bumped up recently, if you have greater than 4 reviews. How many of you have greater than 4 reviews? A couple of you guys? Okay. Again, this point system, you know, we're sharing a lot here. We're not inviting. We didn't actually. This is a huge advantage because we're also kept this closed to SEO marketing companies. So we're really kind of lifting up the curtain here. And these points, this point system is proportional to how much influence this has on your overall organic rankings. Frequency. How often are you updating these local sources, checking them out, auditing, and so forth? 0 or a 1. Reviews are so important, though. We've had a tough time encouraging reviews. You know, what's the responsibility of your in-house SEO or your SEO company? Is it to get you reviews? No, it's not. And you really need to watch out for that fact. This is on the rise. How many of you have gotten some sort of cold call or email saying we can help you increase reviews? I know it's got to be more than that. Steer clear of that. That's a great way to get your local sources penalized and even your website penalized. It's easy to detect if there's any services that are adding reviews. Don't do it. On top of that, this is, it's no longer the SEO person's or company's responsibility to come up with with all aspects of SEO. This is one of those parts that takes a little creative thinking, some effort, put some time into it to come up with a way to incentivize getting more reviews. And in fact, it's so important that we came up with we call it a media kit that physically puts on paper in different ways encouragement for clients to get reviews. To take that a step further, it has to be incentivized, otherwise what happens? It doesn't happen. So we have to really think outside the box. We have tons of ideas, really interesting ideas, ranging from cookie boxes to you name it, and we can share a lot of those, and it's only going to happen with an incentive. There's many different types of incentives, and if you do this, you get more reviews. So it's become so important, in fact, that we added something tangible to the SEO account for 2013. Let us know if you've heard of this out there. So far to date, we really haven't heard of anyone else doing that.